Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we have a 23-minute Pilates workout for toned muscles as part of my summer prep series. All you need is a mat and your core, so whenever you're ready, let's get started. Let's begin in crisscross, seated in the center of the mat. Spread the fingertips beside the hips and we'll roll the shoulders up on an inhale and slide the shoulder blades down the spine on an exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades down the spine, as if you have half a lemon between the shoulder blades and are squeezing out all of the juice. Let's interlace the fingers now and flip the palms, pressing them far out in front of the shoulders before we take an inhale to reach the arms straight up for the sky. Look up and then exhale, lower the shoulders far down from the ears and close the ribs over the hips. From here, let's make big circles with our palms, starting to the right and inhaling as we reach the arms back and overhead, and then exhaling as we draw them forward to finish our circle. We'll take one more in this direction and then we'll reverse. Moving in the other direction now, we'll inhale to reach the palms up and behind us, and then exhale to finish the circle forward as we hollow out the belly. We have one more in this direction. And then we'll reach the palms up through center and exhale to circle the arms back down to the mat. Let's make our way into tabletop now, making sure that our knees are just below our hips and our palms are just below our shoulders. We want to actively press down between all of the joints in the fingers and pull the belly button back to the spine. Extend right arm and left leg and we'll lift up for some bird dogs, exhaling to take arm and leg up and inhaling to lower down. We'll do 5 more just like this, always being careful that we're not going to arch through the spine as we lift the leg up, but we're pulling the navel high with the arm and the leg. Hold lifted now, and we'll take the arm back down to the mat, flex the foot, and tuck the right toes underneath. Exhale, lift the hips high into a downward dog, and inhale, lower the knee back down to the mat, always making sure that the left leg toes are still pointing straight down at the mat. Let's do 5 more just like this, maintaining that high extended leg, and making sure that our belly button stays pulled back towards the spine to secure the torso and engage the core. We'll hold everything lifted in this downward dog and pulse the heel up and up to finish for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest the leg down on the mat and we'll take a second in this full downward dog to bend and straighten through the knees, loosening up all of the joints in the lower half of our body. Let's take one more bend and straighten the knees, and then hinge through the shoulders forward, coming into a full high plank. Still working through the same leg, we're going to lift with a flexed foot and then point the foot as we draw the knee into the chest, hollowing out the belly before we flex and drive the heel back. This is a hard one, but we only have 4 left. Really make sure to elongate the spine as you extend the leg behind you and hollow through the belly as you draw the knee into the chest. Hold the leg extended now and we'll finish by pulsing it up and up, lightly tapping the toes on the floor in between. Great job. Lower that foot back down to the mat and we'll rest the knees down and press back to a child's pose. Take a second to breathe in and out here and then stretch the palms forward. Hug the elbows into your sides and peel into a full cobra, pressing the shoulders far away from the ears and inhaling to look up before we ripple the spine back into child's pose. We'll repeat this a couple more times. Be sure to activate the glutes as you press up through the arms, and inhale as you reach the hips back for your child's pose. This is our last one. Let's now make our way back into tabletop to repeat all of that on the other side, extending opposite arm as leg, and exhaling to lift everything up towards the sky. Inhale, lower down to the mat. Of course, always checking in that our navel is pulled back and that we're not rocking through the low spine as we lift and lower the leg, but everything creates one long line at the top from the crown of the head through the toes and the fingertips. Holding the leg lifted now, we'll take the arm down to the mat, flex the foot, and tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the hips high into your downward dog, maintaining that height in the extended leg, and inhale to slowly tap the knee down to the mat. We just have 5 more of these. Last one, and then we'll hold everything lifted in downward dog to pulse the heel up and up, making sure our toes point straight down at the mat. Rest the toes down in your full downward dog now, and we'll take a second to pedal through the heels, stretching out the Achilles and the calves. From here, drive both heels down into the mat and we'll hinge again from the shoulders into a full plank. Lifting that same leg that we just worked again, we exhale, draw the knee into the chest, and inhale, drive the heel back, extending through the spine as you do. We just have 3 more of these. And now we finish with pulses. Lower and lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Great job, guys. Lower the knees down to the mat and press back to one more child's pose where we can roll out the wrist and kind of relieve any of that tension that might have built up while we were on hands and feet. Now that we're all warmed up, let's start our core series of class. Press up to hands and feet again. We'll cross our ankles and scoot back onto our glutes and into the center of the mat. Plant the feet down in front of the hips and take the arms to parallel. Roll the shoulders back, and we'll exhale to C curve through the spine, pulling the navel back. Inhale, pull up through the crown of the head and sit fully on your glutes. Again, we'll exhale, C curve back, and inhale, straighten through the spine. Let's take 3 more just like this. Hold your C curve on this last one, and we'll exhale to pull right elbow back and extend it long, keeping your eyes on your thumb, and inhale, draw the arms straight through center. Then repeat other side. Let's keep going like this 5 more times in each direction, and always being careful to keep the knees even with each other so that we're not rocking through the hips but really using our obliques and our core. Check in with your shoulders that they're really pressed down and far away from the ears. We just have 1 more in each direction, and then we'll finish with pulses. Keep holding your C curve, roll the shoulders back, and we'll pulse the chest down and up, down and up. Beautiful job. Lengthen through the crown of the head 1 more time, and we'll now roll vertebrae by vertebrae down to our back. Shuffle the feet in close to the glutes and interlace the fingers, resting the head in the palms of the hands. Press down through the navel, imprinting the low spine onto the mat, and we'll exhale high into a curl, drawing right knee to left elbow. Extend the leg long, holding the crunch through center, and then continue the twist, tapping elbow to knee before rolling back down and placing the leg down on the mat. We'll repeat this, alternating sides, 5 more times each leg. Exhale to curl up and twist. Inhale through center as you extend the leg. Exhale, continue your twist, and inhale, roll back down to the mat. We only have 3 left on each side, so really slow down your movements and let the core work. Two left now. And last one. Let's take a scissor twist series now. Exhale left elbow to right knee, extending left leg long, and we'll twist for 1, 2, 3. Holding our extension, roll the head down, and then curl back up into your twist. And we'll continue for 1, 2, 3. And the same thing on the other side. If you're up for an extra little burn, extend both legs long, root down through the hips, and we'll take our scissor twists with 2 straight legs. However, just like with our C-curve twist, we want to make sure that the work is coming from our obliques and not from movement through our hips, which is why we keep the navel pulled back to the spine and really imprint down into the mat. Keep going, we just have 3 of these left. This is your last one. You guys are doing great. Rest your head down on the mat now, and we'll plant the feet pretty close to the glutes and reach the arms overhead. Let's finish with some roll-ups. Inhale, roll up to sitting and extend the right leg long, keeping the knees together. Inhale, roll back down, and exhale, sweep the arms overhead. We'll repeat other side. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, extend the leg long. Inhale, roll back, and exhale, sweep the arms overhead. Keep going, we just have 7 more. Remember to sync the motions with your breath. Inhale to roll up and exhale to extend the leg. This way, we know that we're not using momentum or our breath to help propel us up into a sit-up, but we're really using our core. Three more now. This is your last one. You've officially made it through the core section of class today, so rest your head down on the mat and shuffle your heels in pretty close to the glutes. And we'll start backside body. Drive your weight through your heels as you peel the spine up into a glute bridge, and then as you roll back down, reach the arms overhead and inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth and repeat the bridge up, this time taking the arms down to the mat by the hips. Inhale, roll back down, and exhale, we'll keep repeating. We've got 6 more just like this. Make sure that as you peel up, you're starting from the tailbone. That way, we're not arching through the low spine, but really getting the fullest squeeze out of the glutes. Just 3 more now. Hold the glutes lifted on this last one. Take the arms overhead to parallel and then pulse up and up to finish for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll the hips back down to the mat. Press the palms by your sides into the mat for some extra support, and then peel back up into your glute bridge. We're going to roll the toes, lifting the heels on the right side and then the left side, making sure not to tilt through the hips, and then we'll roll back down before we exhale to peel back up into our bridge and repeat, starting with the right heel and then the left, and then rolling back down. We'll do one more bridge up, peeling right heel and then left heel, and then we'll roll back down, peel back up into our bridge, and this time lead with the left heel, peeling up off of the mat and then the right, before we roll through the spine down. Let's do 2 more like this, and then we'll move on to our side series. Amazing job, you guys. Take a second to hug both knees into your chest, flex your feet and cross your ankles, and we'll roll the knees in circles to loosen up the low spine. Then we'll reverse those circles. Before we interlace the fingers, rock back and roll up to a seating position. Make your way into a modified plank from here, resting on your forearm, and resting your hip and your knee down on the mat. We'll draw the knees back in line with the hips and then extend the top leg long. Exhale, side kick straight up, and inhale, tap the toes down to the mat, making sure that we're not going to sink through our low rib cage as we lift and lower the leg. We have 3 more. Hold the leg lifted on this last one, flex the foot, and reach the top arm overhead. We'll pulse up and up through the heel for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the hand back to the hip to make sure that we're not rocking through that hip, and we'll reach the leg forward, tap 2 times before arching it up and back on an exhale. So with our breath, we inhale to tap the toes, exhale lift, and inhale tap to the back. We just have 4 more of these. Make sure that you've got your navel pulled back to the spine and your ribs secured over your hips so that your core can really help you in this exercise. Let's press up sitting on our glutes and draw our top leg across our body into a pretzel stretch. We'll inhale opposite arm up and exhale into a nice twist, taking some deep breaths to really relax the spine and stretch out the glute meads. From here, we'll gently unwind and make our way onto our other side so that we can repeat our side series. Lower down onto your forearm and make sure that we're not going to sink too far into the ribs. Extend the top leg long and take the hand to the hip so that we can ensure we don't sway as we lift and lower the leg for side kicks. Exhale straight up and inhale, tap the toes down. We'll do 5 more just like this, making sure to actively press down through the lower shoulder so it doesn't drive up towards our ear. Hold the leg lifted on this last one, flex the foot, and reach the top arm overhead so that we can pulse the heel up and up for 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the hand down to the hip, point the toes, and draw the leg forward to tap 2 times before we exhale and rainbow kick back, tapping twice on an inhale. Keep going with these rainbow kicks. We just have 6 more. Make sure that you're not rocking through the top hip and that your core is really helping you lift and lower the leg forwards and backwards. This is your last one. Rest the leg down now and let's repeat that pretzel stretch. Draw the left leg on top of the right and then inhale the right arm up and exhale into your twist, hooking the arm around for some extra resistance. After some deep breaths there, gently unwind and make your way into tabletop so that we can chaturanga down to our bellies. You're almost through. You've made it to our last series of class, backside. So from tabletop, we'll hinge the hips forward and gently lower down to our stomachs with our ribs closed over our hips. Walk the feet hip distance apart with the heels turned in and the glutes engaged, and then take the arms long in front of the shoulders. Slide the shoulder blades down the spine, and let's start the series with some frog swims. Exhale, cactus the elbows back, and then reach the palms for the heels as you open the legs wide in hover before you close the heels together and the arms together overhead, keeping chest and legs lifted and glutes fully engaged to protect the low back. We'll keep going like this, just 4 more times. This time, draw the arms back and keep reaching, flipping the palms and beating the heels together as you pulse the arms up and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down to the mat, press the palms below the shoulders, and then guide the hips back to your final child's pose. Let the spine sink heavy between the knees so that we're stretching in the opposite direction, and then lift the chest. Tuck the toes and peel the hips into your downward dog. Pedal through the feet, reaching the hips for the sky and the heels for the ground to really stretch through the backs of the legs, and then bend both knees and straighten. Again, loosening up all the joints in the knees, the hips, and even the ankles. You've officially made it to the end of today's class. So let's make our way into crisscross in the center of the mat and take a couple deep breaths, really thanking our body for all of the work it did today. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale, slide the shoulder blades down the spine. Thank you guys so much for joining me in my summer prep video today. I hope you guys like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, I'll see you next time.